Hello again. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Fear and Spirits. Today we have a very, very special episode for you because we have a very special guest, someone who's really close to me, someone who I really, really enjoy hanging out with, and that is doing amazing and great things. My cousin, Diego.
Hello, my name is Diego.
Well, if you could tell us if you're doing any project, your social media, so that people can follow you there.
Right now, I'm not doing any projects. I do plan on continuing in January. I want to get. I'm a musician. I play saxophone. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is diegdom_01. I post a bit of saxophone content there. I haven't posted in a bit, but I do plan on going back to it. And well, yeah, it's pretty much
Nice.
it right now.
Nice. And every episode we try to have a spirit with us. Tonight's spirit comes in the form of an oldie but a really goodie. We're drinking Jack and Coke. So if you ever want to see what we're drinking, or if you want to see us making the drinks, let us know and we'll post an extra video for y'all, or we'll start making that content. I want to ask you, do you consider yourself someone that gets scared easily, or do you not get scared at all?
Most definitely.
Yeah. I
do get scared really, really fast. I have there's been a lot of experiences. I feel like I'm a very big believer in ghosts. So, even though I've seen a lot, every single time I see one, it's just kind of like still freaks me out. So,
and so I don't know if you're gonna say any of the stories that we've had together, but whichever one you feel more comfortable with to start. If you want to do it chronologically, if you want to do it whichever one you can remember the most right now. The floor is yours.
Well, I guess I would just start chronologically. I think one of my very, very first encounters was, so my parents used to work overnight, and there was this one time it was me and my older brother and her older brother as well. He was the one taking care of us at the time. He had came to watch over us for the night, and my older brother and my cousin were playing Super Smash Melee, and it was already like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I was getting super tired. So I told them I was going to go to sleep. I went to my mom's room, and as I was trying to sleep, I kept hearing noises. So I opened my eyes to see what it was, and from the edge of the bed, I saw, I guess what you call like a goblin. I'm not sure if it was like, I guess, yeah, like a goblin leprechaun type thing. It was really small. It was just like peeking out from the edge of the bed. And I started screaming for my older brother. I started screaming for my cousin. They came running. As soon as they came in, they turned on the lights, and there was nothing there. Like, we checked under the bed, we checked in the closet. The thing was just gone.
How old were y'all?
I think I was like 4, 5. That was my very, very first encounter.
And that was at your mom's house, right? Because
yes.
That's where most things would happen.
Yes, that was at my mom's house. I think one of the only encounters. There was another one. I guess you could call it like the same type of goblin. I was up. It was still when I was around 5. I stayed up till 2, 3 in the morning. I was actually watching SpongeBob. And it was getting pretty late. I was getting tired. So I was in the living room, and I decided to turn off the TV and go to bed. And my room used to be the one at the very end of the hallway, so it was like a pretty good walk, right? And when I started getting up to go walk, I saw someone peeking from my room, like peeking out from the door.
Oh my God.
And it was really small. It was like, I guess like 1.5 foot maybe at most. It was really small. It was peeking from my room. As soon as I saw it, I guess we kind of like made eye contact, because when it saw me, it ran back into the room. I got freaked out, but I was like, in my head, I was like, what is that? So I kind of like started like
curiosity.
fast, yeah. So I kind of started like fast walking to my room. When I got there, I turned on the lights, and all I saw was my older brother sleeping. We used to have bunk beds back then as well.
Yeah, I remember.
So all I saw was my brother sleeping on the bottom bunk bed. I checked the closet. I checked under his bed. There was nothing there. I couldn't find anything.
Well, this is actually family lore because if you guys remember, when my other cousin was here on the podcast, sorry, our dogs are here. But when our cousin Eddie was here on the podcast, he actually mentioned some personal stories of his at your mom's house.
Yeah.
And he said that when we were little, y'all would call it el mono verde.
Yeah.
Like the green.
We came up with that because when all of that happened, I used to have a Hulk doll was about the same size of that goblin that we saw, or that I saw, I guess. What's it called? So when people asked me to describe it, I would usually describe it as it was as tall as that Hulk that I had. So el mono verde.
And those things aren't that big. It's probably like as big as this lamp, no?
Yeah, I think maybe like up to here, maybe. So it was really tiny, and that's how el mono verde came to be. Because I would just mention like it was like as a doll. Yeah. It was as tall as the Hulk. That's mainly what happened when I was younger. Nothing really bad happened for a good while, until I reached 3rd grade. Our classroom specifically, we had many people, like many students and teachers as well, that would say like they would like either see things or hear things coming from that classroom.
Love a good classroom horror story.
And we actually got to experience 2 as a whole class. It was nothing major, like super bad, but they both happened in the closet. The first one, it was like if someone was dropping a marble on the floor, but it wasn't like they were like at a high place and dropping. It was like, this is the floor, this is the marble. It was kind of like, it would bounce like 5 times, and then they would pick it up and drop it again, and like do that constantly. And it got to the point where sometimes we would just ignore it, but we, like my teacher and stuff like that, would open the door.
And this happened like during class?
It happened during
your
class
period?
Yeah, it happened during class. It would mostly be like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. like, and it would just grab it, drop it from a low height, just let it bounce, grab it again, drop it. Like that would happen. And then my teacher would always open the door. There was nothing there. So, I mean, I don't know. It got to the point where we would just ignore it because it would happen so often. The other one, this only happened once, but it really freaked us out because we heard laughing coming from the closet. And
Did y'all notice like a vent or something in there?
No.
Or was it just like a shut?
Well, the vents were usually from the ceiling. And
because they have like the tile.
Yeah, and the tiles were also made of like foam. Yeah, so it was really light. People couldn't really walk through. But well, with the laughing, we heard it specifically coming from the closet. And then again, when my teacher opened the door, something from the top fell. I forgot exactly what it was. Again, it happened like a long time ago. But something did fall from the top. It might have been like a book. But what's it called? I think those are my only 2 experience. Our teacher did end up telling us like a few weeks after. It was after school was already like 6 p.m. or so, and usually the janitors would stay to clean up and stuff like that. And then when one of the janitors was passing by her room, she saw like a person, a whole figure inside the class, and she thought it was my teacher. So, and they were good friends, so she was gonna go in and be like, "Hey, like, what are you still doing here? Like, it's already late. You should be going home, right?" She unlocked the door. She opened it, and as soon as she opened it, there was no one in the room. Like,
and those are the classroom doors that have like a little window.
Yeah.
That's why she could see.
Yeah, she saw inside through the window, and she saw a person like walking by inside.
Oh, sorry.
She saw a person walking by like through the room. and she thought it was my teacher. So she unlocked the door, and also the door was locked, so like nobody could get in. And she like checked, it was locked. She opened it, and then when she like opened the door, looked back up, there was no one there. What's it called? My teacher.
I bet it was after hours, because like,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, it was after hours. What's it called? And they told us that the janitor did get really like freaked out and stuff. I think those are the main three, because we ended up switching like classrooms constantly with another teacher, so we didn't have that many experiences anymore. But yeah, that happened. I think this next one,
Refill time. And also, I just want to clarify that I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because some of these stories make me nervous, and that's like my reaction. So my first reaction is to like start laughing, not because it's funny, but because it gives me the heebies.
The heebies.
See.
Excitement. Ooh.
Yeah. Cheers.
It's fine, we dropped all of it.
Yeah, we dropped all of it. But no, please keep going.
Okay. So, after third grade, we ended up moving outside to like portable classrooms. So nothing really happened. But until I think the end of fifth grade, the beginning of sixth grade, I started hanging out with the certain group of friends. They're not bad people, right? But we used to hang out outside like a lot, either play basketball, go skateboarding, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And in front of one of my friend's house, like a few houses down, there was this house that was like abandoned. Nobody lived there. Nobody really would go in. And then so me and my friends decided to check it out. At first, like all the doors were closed and stuff like that, but we went through the back, and coincidentally one of the wooden fences was broken, so we would go in through that wooden fence.
Yeah.
And we found a window that was open. Like we coincidentally one of those windows, we could pull it up, open it, and stuff like that. We went in quite a few times. I'm not even gonna say like this happened one time. At first nothing happened, right? At first we went in, nothing happened, but then
chill spot.
Yeah, chill spot. When we went in, we found it. We started finding a lot of stuff, like those Jesus candles.
Oh yeah.
We started finding a lot of them, like either inside the closet or on the floor. I think one or two were broken, if I'm not mistaken.
So do you think other people were also breaking in and doing like weird?
It could have been
weird rituals and stuff.
Maybe. I'm not sure. Like I said, from what I know, we were the only ones. Like there could have been multiple people. I mean,
also it depends on what time you guys were breaking in, because people could breaking in the middle of the night.
Yeah, well, we were usually breaking in like around 6-7 p.m. So maybe there could have been people going in like at 11, 12, like midnight. But when we went in, like I said, there was like Jesus candles. Some were broken. We also found like condoms, like a bunch of random stuff. And
fun Jesus time.
Fun Jesus time, yeah. And then some of the candles that were on the floor were like forming like half a circle, like if it was trying to form a full circle. But I don't know if they were picked up, if they were moved, because it didn't form like the whole circle. So it was like about half, maybe a bit less than half, and some of them were like tipped over, broken. And then there was this one specific time where we went in, and it was the same thing. Everything was pretty much the same, and then we started hearing banging, like, and it wasn't even like something fell or someone knocking on the door. It was like a bang, like a really really loud bang. And
was it coming from any direction, or was it coming from the space?
It was coming from the space, because we didn't hear any.
Oh my god.
We didn't hear any specific direction, because all of us were like, where's that coming from? Like we all looked through every
like it took you off off guard.
Yeah, there was no specific direction. We heard it about 3 times. And the first one, we just kind of played it off like, oh, maybe something fell or someone outside, right? But then we heard it again and we're like, okay, this is kind of like, this is kind of getting weird. And then we heard it a third time. The third one actually sounded a bit closer. And that's when we were like, yeah, no, we're gonna get out of
Nos
here.
guachamos.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, this is not for us. We're just kids, like 11 years old.
Oh my God, you guys were 11. What were you doing breaking into places?
Being children,
Yeah, I guess.
being teens.
I think I was eating dirt when I was 11.
Yeah. But
That's crazy.
after that, we never really went back. Like we were just too scared to keep going in. What's it called? Yeah, I think they ended up blocking it too. Like they blocked the window. They put a new wooden fence. They just ended up like closing the hole. So we just never really went back in. So yeah,
I wouldn't have either. That's really scary.
that was a really really crazy experience. Especially as an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
I was really freaked out.
Traumatizing even. I think I would, yeah.
I don't even think we kept hanging out after that same day. When that happened, all of us were just like, okay, I'm gonna go back home. Like we're done. We're done for the day. It was like 7 p.m.
I don't know if you saw what I saw, but
it was like
yeah.
7 p.m. and we were all like, okay, that's it. Maybe hang out some other day, but like I'm gonna just go home, sleep. Like I'm not gonna.
Lord Christ.
What's it called? But actually, to travel back a bit, back to my childhood, I have 2 stories. One of them is I guess I have 3 stories, but one of them is really close to me because it was my grandmother. We were having a party at my place, like how we used to do back then. I was maybe, I want to say like 7 years old, 8 years old. And I wanted to go to sleep. It was already like 4 a.m. Our parties usually last till like 6 a.m. But it was already 3, 4 in the morning. And I wanted to go to sleep. I went to my room and there was people sleeping in my room. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to go to like my mom's room. And stuff would always happen in my mom's room.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why, but it was always my mom's room. But anyways, I wanted to go to sleep. I went to my mom's room.
Different things happen in your mom's room than in your room. It was
That's
like
true.
a whole different pocket dimension of what happened in each room.
Yeah,
So-
pretty much. So what's it called? I opened the door, and this is actually the reason why every time I open the door, I turn on the lights first before fully opening the door, because I opened the door and I just opened it all the way without turning on the lights, without doing anything. And as soon as I opened the door, I saw my grandma just passing by right in front of me. Like she just walked from left to right. She had the same dress that she always wore. It was like the same height. What's it called? Same scent as well. Actually, I was actually able to smell her too, and it just really freaked me out. I started crying.
I think Lalo, our cousin Eddie from the previous episode, if I remember properly, he had the same experience. Same exact experience.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure quite a few of us did. I know, what's it called? My little brother, he never got to meet her, like officially. He was barely born when she passed away.
I think no, he was born after. I believe she passed away in January. No.
I think he was born, and then like a few days later, she ended up passing away.
Oh yes, because he had to stay in the hospital for a couple of days. So yes.
What's it called? He never met her. And there was this one time where he was going to my uncle's place, and they were in the car. They were walking, or they were walking in the car. Right? They were in the car.
One does.
As typical
car day.
There was people walking, and there was this lady walking by in a blue dress, and my little brother was actually like, "Look, that's grandma. Like, that's my grandma.
She would always wear this blue dress with
And
like pink rose flowers.
It was always like a dark blue dress and stuff like that. And that lady, I don't know if she was wearing the exact same dress, but she was wearing a dark blue dress.
I've never seen anybody wear grandma's dresses. Like I've never seen.
Yeah, I
don't know where she got them from.
I haven't either, to be honest.
But I've never seen anybody wear those.
What's it called? But he ended up pointing out like, look, that's my grandma and stuff like that. And my uncle was like, how do you like? That's not our grandma, or that's not your grandma. And he was like, yeah, like I see her like in my dreams and stuff like that. And I was like. My uncle was super weirded out because he was like, you never met her, like how do you know who that is? And
it's not like we around the time that when she passed away, sorry that I interrupted you, but around the time where she passed away, we were all very hurt, so we didn't even really visited any media because we're very like, oh, there's always a dad with a camcorder recording everything. There was like 3 dads with a camcorder recording everything. But we, after she passed away, it's like everybody was so depressed that we didn't really do that. We did have pictures, but it's not like a little toddler had access to like reach for those things.
Pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's really a mystery how he knows about how she looked.
Yeah. The same thing happened to my cousin, which is a few months older than my brother. He's like 3 months older than my brother.
From your dad's side?
From my mom's side.
Oh.
Danny?
Oh, yeah, Danny.
What's it called? His mom had showed him a picture of our family.
We're cousins.
That's true. What's it called? His mom had showed him pictures of the family, and it was all of us like in one big photo. And he pointed at my grandma, like specifically at my grandma, and he was like, I see her in my dreams, like she tells me like it's gonna be okay and stuff like that, like she always tries to comfort me, but I see her like every once in a while in my dreams. And we're always all like, you never met her, like like how do you know who she is, right?
But also we all do see grandma in our dreams here and there. I have a
That's true.
Special episode later on.
What's it called? Well, anyways, back to my stories.
Yeah, sorry.
We got a bit sidetracked. So that one happened. And then I think maybe like a few months after, we were having a party at my cousin's place, who actually lived like 4 houses down from my place.
Who, Cesar?
Yeah. What's it called? We had a bunch of family in one neighborhood, so.
They were like street neighbors.
We were street neighbors.
Yeah, but y'all lived in a cul-de-sac, so like if we threw a party and we wanted to throw the party in the front, all we had to do is invite the neighbors so they could close the street, and then the parties would go till again 4 or 6 in the morning. Yeah, regular.
What's it called? Well, we were having a party at my cousin Cesar's place, and I was gonna get, I think it was like a toy or something like that from my house, and this one actually was not that late. It was probably like 10 p.m. or something like that. What's it called? So I went to go ask my mom for the keys, and once I got them, I started walking towards my place, and there's a window that's facing like the street. And I had to cross the street so I could see that window, and I saw like this lady in the white dress just passing by the hallway, specifically by the door of that room that I was looking into, and she was passing by that room. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, I don't think I need the toy anymore. Like, I was like, I'm good with the ones I have. Like, oh my god. And I just turned around and I went back.
How old were you?
I think it was around the same age, like 7 or 8. What's it called? And I just gave the keys back to my mom. I was like, I don't need the toy. I'm good. I got everything I need here. And then
well, hopefully we can get one of our cousins, like either Cesarine or Alex, because they also had experience in that house. Yeah. I don't know if maybe it was the land or like what it was before.
I'm not sure.
Because like they also had experiences in that house. I remember what, the microphone? Oh. Here? It's fine. Oh, sorry.
Is mine good?
Sorry. Okay. So I remember I was babysitting them once, and we were watching a movie, and I don't remember who got up. So it's like 3 brothers and a sister, right? They're all toddlers, except for Cesarin. He was probably like a little bit older.
He's like 3-4 years older than the second child.
Yeah. And so we were in the living room. We were watching a movie or something. We were doing something in the living room where we were all there.
I remember this story.
Watching TV. And so one of them had to go to the restroom, or they were going over there to the hallway. So
like the back of the hallway?
Yeah. So the living room is like you go in living room, and then there's a deep hallway, right? So one of them, for whatever reason, they either had to go to the restroom. I do not remember clearly. They go in, and then they take a little while, and then I just hear like screaming, like screaming, crying, and when I'm like, what the hell? Like, what is going on? So we all run to that room. And we're like, what the hell? And I just see this little kid like crouching next to the bed, and I'm like, what's going on? So what I do is I just take him out, and so we just like hung out in the living room. My initial thought was just get the hell out of the house. But we were kids. Like I think I was like 15 years old or 16 years old at the time.
This was a good while ago.
Yeah. And so, mind you, now I'm 32, so that's why I don't remember a lot, but I just thought like we can't go to the front because we're little, you know? So we have to stay in an area. And the next thing I remember is just playing cartoons and telling them like, if you have to go to the restroom,
let me know.
I'll walk you or whatever. But I remember that we were really, really scared.
Yeah.
But the kid, it was Jose Angel, and I don't think they ever said what it was. I don't think we even had the processing power to ask.
Yeah.
We were just all really scared. So we were just watching like dumb cartoons to like eye bleach to make us feel better until their parents got there. And I think their parents were just at your mom's house, which is like 3 or 4 houses down. Yeah. So it wasn't even that big of a deal that we were by ourselves, but it was an intense one in that house.
Yeah. I know a lot of stuff does happen in that house. The last one I said was the one about the lady in the white dress.
Yes. That was in that house.
That was in my house.
Oh, that was in your house?
Yes.
Oh, so you were...
I was walking back to my house.
Oh.
And I saw through the window, I saw like the lady passing by. What's it called? And that's when I turned around and I was like, nope. No. Never mind. I can go home when my whole family goes home. Like, I'm not gonna risk it.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think those are mainly the only stories I have when I was younger.
As far as in your mom's house?
As far as my mom's house, yes. I think...
Does anything happen nowadays?
Recently, no. Not that I've seen. Or I guess maybe I just got used to them.
Well, now you guys have cats.
We do have 2 cats now, so maybe that's why nothing has happened.
So you don't have any more stories from your house?
I do actually. I do. I have.
I knew it because everybody has all the stories at your mom's house. Like that house, it should be invested. It should be on Ghost Hunters.
I mean, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I think maybe. Now that I think about it, maybe like around 3 more. Because the last one happened when I was a senior in high school, which was about 4 years ago, I think. I think 4.5 years ago. So the first one happened when I was in middle school. I used to sleep in the same bed with my brother after we got rid of the bunk beds with my older brother. We got a queen size bed. It was my mom's old bed because she got a king size.
Yes.
So we got my mom's queen size, and we used to sleep there because one of my other cousins used to also live there.
Yes.
So we didn't have any more room. We didn't have any more room there. So we used to sleep in the same bed. There was this one specific night where we both could not sleep at all. So we just ended up talking. We were just going back and forth, having random conversations. And then it was already like really, really late, past midnight, probably like 2 a.m. And then I found myself constantly having to pull myself up. And then when I realized that I was pulling myself up, I was like, what is going on? Right? And I even told my brother, I was like, stop talking for a bit. Like, do you see this? Right? And then we both stopped talking. I just stare at him, and what's it called? It was like someone was pulling me from under the bed, but I just kept going down. It was like I was looking at him from eye to eye. Right?
Oh my god.
And I told him to stop talking, and we both just like stared at each other, and I just kept like going down.
Oh my god.
Like I didn't know what it was. I don't know what was going on. I didn't feel anything.
I was about to ask.
I didn't feel anything at all. Like I didn't feel like if they were grabbing my legs. I didn't feel anything. And you know how normally when they grab your legs, you could feel the pull.
Yeah.
It felt like they were grabbing my whole body and shifting it down. Like they weren't pulling me. They weren't grabbing me from my arm.
Not the sheets or anything. It didn't feel like a sheet pull.
No, everything was moving together. Like I was moving down with the sheets, like everything. And one of the main reasons I noticed was because my pillow wasn't moving. So I was going down like on my pillow.
And your brother wasn't moving.
And my brother was not moving. And we were both like, what the fuck, right? We were like, what's going on? And I ended up sleeping with like my legs curled, completely covered up. Like I was super scared.
That's really funny because, well, it's not funny. No, it's definitely traumatic, but it's funny because before our grandma passed away, she used to say, if you misbehave, I'm going to pull your legs when I die or when I pass away.
Yeah.
What? So also to add to that, one of my biggest fears, recent biggest fears, not anymore though, but like I think it was 2021 where I had a very big surgery. My biggest fear was a ghost pulling my legs because I was connected to a machine that was keeping me together, right? Like my stitches, they were keeping them together. So that was one of my biggest fears. So the fact that, because I was also, sorry, I clicked the mic, but also because I was plugged into the wall. Yeah. So if anything,
if they pulled, they could have like disconnected or something.
And I would just be open, you know? So that was one of my biggest fears. So the fact that it happened to you, oh Lord.
Another thing to add on to the story, our drawers for our clothes and stuff like that was right in front of the bed. So there was hardly any room from the bed to the drawer for anyone to be in there. I know I could barely fit when I was like at the time. My little brother was really, really skinny back then, and he could barely fit in there as well. Like when he would go in there, he'd be like super.
And
like,
also the bottom drawer would hit the bed, right?
Yeah. You cannot open the bottom drawers fully. Yeah, that's how small that space was. And I was getting pulled pretty much into that small space. Like they were pulling me pretty much from the drawer
Oh my god.
which was really really creepy. What's it called? Another story that happened in the same room. It wasn't as creepy as the leg pulling, but I would always have eerie feelings from the closet, and what's it called? I normally sleep with like either one light on or all lights off, right? Doesn't really matter. When I got my own room, I would sleep with all the lights off. But whenever I would sleep in that specific room, I could never sleep with the lights off. I always have to have specifically the closet light on.
I remember.
Every single time that I would turn it off and try to sleep, I would feel like someone was staring at me from the closet.
Even with the light on.
Even with the light on too, sometimes. It happened less frequently, but every single time I would turn off the lights, I always felt like something was staring at me, like if there was a presence inside the closet, and I just could not sleep with the light off.
Yeah. Also, if you guys want to know what I personally found in that closet from our grandma, who was a white witch, go watch our previous episode. So you can, family lore, piece it all together.
So that happened in that room. That was the one at the very corner in the back, like the back of the house, the last room. Eventually I did get my own room, which is the one right next to it. And I had 2 experiences in that room. They weren't as bad. Obviously it wasn't leg pulling. But whenever I got my own room, we ended up having bunk beds. It was me and my little brother this time.
In the middle room, right?
In the middle room, yes.
Okay.
Yes. It was a room right next to the last one. What's it called? I ended up having bunk beds with my little brother this time. And he would never sleep on it though. So it was usually just me in the room.
Because he was sleeping with your mom, right?
Or in the couch. He would never sleep in the room.
He would just fall and that's where he landed.
Wherever he landed, he would just... Yeah. What's it called? This time I was a senior in high school. And I had 2 experiences when I was a senior. One of them is not really like... I guess because I'm used to it, right? A lot of stuff happened in my house. But the first one is not too creepy. When I was trying to go to sleep, right behind the door, because usually I would sleep with the lights off, the door closed, right behind the door, there was a whole figure, like a shadow person. And
them shadow people.
Usually with shadow people, even if it's fully dark, you could still see like the outline,
the silhouette. Yeah,
the outline, the silhouette of that shadow person. And he was standing behind my door, like just watching me. He didn't move, he didn't do anything, he didn't try to tell me something. Fortunately enough, right? I'm not saying like what's it called, but he was just there. And it happened multiple times where he would just stare at me. I don't know if it was like trying to scare me, protect me, just watch over me. I don't know. I was never scared of it.
Oh, so you didn't feel any bad vibes?
I didn't feel any like ill intent, I guess. Like he would just stand there the whole night until I fell asleep and stuff like that. And then when I woke up, he was gone. Right? Like,
oh my God. So I actually have a very, very similar experience. And I attribute this, again, we're going back to family lore. Grandma used to cleanse people in our houses.
Yeah.
My house, your house, Aunt Chelo's house, as we know from the previous episode. So at my mom's house, we lived in there. It was not fully built. There was some pieces missing from the ceiling because they still had to do electrical, or they still had to do something with it. But, we were living in the house. Mm-hmm. So whenever my grandma stayed over, I would, of course, give up my room so she could stay in there. And then I would sleep in my brother's room, which they had a double bed. So I would stay in there, right? But eventually I moved over to that room, and it's kind of like we just switched rooms.
Yeah.
You know, my
remember that.
brothers were in the other room and I was on this one. So when I was living in that room to the back, I remember there was a hole there because they were gonna place a vent there. So there was a hole, but I remember seeing a pair of glowing eyes and
Is it like peeking or what?
yes. But I didn't, like you said, I didn't feel any ill intent. So I was just stare at it and be like, well, good night. And just go to sleep. And I would tell it good night every night. And then, like, I'm a very light sleeper. My dad would walk around, you know, whenever he would get up to go to the restroom or whatever, he would walk around at night and check that we were fine. I could wake up if you open the door. Mm-hmm. Like, to this day, when we've lived in apartments, I could hear my upstairs neighbors getting up to the restroom at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. Yeah. Like, that wakes me up. So I would wake up in the middle of the night. I would not see it anymore. But I would see it right before I would go to sleep. And it was like this shadow person with like glowing orangey eyes.
It just reminded me of another story.
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say another one that happened in my room, but I'm gonna say this one because it happened a lot. Like when I was a lot younger, not too much younger, but I don't know my English.
You're fine.
What's it called?
Me neither.
There was this one time I was in my room. No, I was in my house. And I was home alone. My mom was working. My older brother was with his friends, and my little brother, I think he was at your house or something. I don't remember.
We were scattered.
Yeah, I was home alone. What's it called? And I went to the restroom and stuff like that, and then for some reason I opened the door, and then I left the door open, and then I went
to the restroom.
The restroom door open, yeah, and I turned off the lights. Right, it was off, whatever, and then I went back to my room, which is at the time was the one in the back, it was the one at the very very far back, and in that room, on top of the drawer, we have a mirror.
Same room you got your legs pulled.
Yes, same room I got my legs pulled. On top of the drawer, we had a mirror, right? The super big mirror. And what's it called? I don't know what I was gonna do. I don't know if it was gonna like play on my DS or take a nap. I'm not sure. But I went into my room and I looked at the mirror and I saw glowing eyes coming from the restroom. And remember, the door was open, the lights were off. So I saw another shadow figure, but this time it had yellow, orangey, glowing eyes as well.
I do remember that you guys had like, it was the mirror and then it was a TV next to the
door.
It
was the mirror, the TV, and then the door right next to the TV. And that door would lead to the hallway, obviously. Yeah. And then it was our door and the restroom door was on this side. So it would pretty much lead right into
so you could literally see from your room to the restroom.
Yeah, you could see clearly, like directly to the restroom.
Yeah.
And I saw a shadow figure with like yellow, orangey, glowing eyes, just staring back right at me. And this was like, mind you, it was like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Like it wasn't super late. It was kind of dark, pretty much, but it wasn't late. And we just stared at each other for like 30 seconds to a minute because I was too scared to move and they obviously would not move. And then out of nowhere, my doorbell rang. It was my cousin that lived next door.
I'm sure that's why nobody was home because everybody was over there.
I don't remember, honestly. But no, actually, because my cousin came over, Eddie's younger brother, the one from the previous episode.
No.
Eddie's younger brother, Beavis.
Beavis didn't do the previous episode.
That's why I said Eddie's younger brother.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Confusion.
Funnily enough, he came to ask for a ramen packet because he wanted a ramen. They ran out. And as soon as he rang the doorbell, I grabbed like my phone and I ran to the door. Like I just passed the restroom. I didn't. Yeah, I just bolted. I didn't look into the restroom. I keep hitting the mic. I passed straight through. I tried to keep my eyes straight. I didn't look into the restroom. I didn't try to not acknowledge whatever was there. And I opened the door and I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, again, I was like trembling. I was super scared. And then my cousin was like, are you okay? And I was like, no. I was like, I just saw like a shadow figure in the restroom. Like,
yeah.
And I was like, let's go to your place. Like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. Because he saw me super scared and he was like, yeah, sure, come on. I was like, hey.
They literally lived like
right across
this
the
was
street.
His house, his house.
Yeah.
Like it was like 3 of our families
Members,
lived in that street.
We all lived in that same street.
So it was really good, I guess.
And he was like, I just came to ask for a ramen packet, and I was like, here, take it. I don't care. Let's go. I was like, I do not want to be.
Make me one.
What's it called? I was like, here, take it. I don't care. Let's just get out of here. And he was like, okay. And then he told me, he was like, are you okay? Like, you look really scared. And that's when I told him, I was like, I saw this thing, like this shadow person with glowing eyes in the restroom staring back at me. That's when you rang the bell. So I ran straight to the door, and I'm like, let's get out. I don't want to be in here. Like, I was like, I was supposed to be home alone. I don't know what this shadow person is doing here. And we just left to his house. I didn't come back till my mom came home. And well, yeah, that was a pretty interesting experience. I think with that one, even though it was just glowing eyes, like it looked angry. Like it looked like it had.
Did you feel it angry?
I'm not exactly sure. It might have felt it angry because as soon as I saw it, I got immediately scared. Like I got super
It was like
scared,
your fight or flight type.
Pretty much. And I just kept staring at it because it was staring at me. And I was like, maybe if I stare at it, like, it won't move. Like, I don't know. So I just stared at it, but I felt really, really scared. So that's why as soon as my cousin rang the doorbell, I just bolted straight to the door. And then that's when I left. I didn't want to.
Yeah, I feel like I would have done the same thing.
Yeah. And was I didn't want to go back inside the house. I was like, let's just leave. I locked the door. Whatever. I went to his house, and then when my mom came home, I went back. I told her what was happening, and she was like, okay, well, you're good.
Oh my god, that's really, really scary. Okay, we're due for a refill? Yeah. But I mean, yeah, so many people have had a very, very different experiences at your mom's house specifically. And that's not to say, like, we still have to invite our other cousins like Rocio, Lily, hopefully Cesar, so that they can tell us the stuff that happened at their mom's house.
Tia Chalo's house?
Yeah, Tia, okay. I've said this in other episodes, but and this is not a joke. Like, I'm not joking. This is that's very just, sip the rim.
There's a lot of spirit.
Yeah, there's a lot of spirit in that cup. But anyway, every single nightmare that I have is in Tia Chelo's house, and most of the family knows this. And they're like, oh, well, you might have a connection with it. You might feel like something's off with it. Of course something is off with it. Because everybody keeps having these like really weird experiences there. Like, it's not normal. I feel bad. Okay, so my Aunt Chelo left that house. I don't know what her reasons are for leaving that house, but she's renting it out now. I feel bad for the people that are renting it. I hope they have cats, because cats for spirits, dogs for people. But I hope they have cats, because that house is haunted.
Yeah.
Do you have any experiences at Aunt Chelo's house?
I have one more story in my house, and then I was actually going to go to Tia Chelo's house. I only have 3 for Tia Chelo's house because we do have cats. So nothing major happened, fortunately, right? So anyways, this last story at my house, it was some more shadow people.
Oh my god.
It was, again, my senior year in high school. And there was this one time where I told my family, like, it was like 10 p.m. or something like that, and I was like, I'm really sleepy, like I have to wake up like at 6 a.m. tomorrow because of band practice and stuff like that. And I was like, I feel really sleepy, whatever, I'm gonna go to bed. If y'all wake up, wake me up, right? So I went to my room, and again, I used to sleep with the lights off, so I closed my door, turned off the lights, and then I went to go lay down, and it was when we still had bunk beds, and I was on the bottom bunk. As soon as I laid down, I looked right in front of me, which is like the edge of my bed, and there was a shadow person right in front of me. But it wasn't sitting down, it was kind of like crawling.
What room?
In the middle room.
I'm telling you, every room, it's like its own dimension
My
of
room
experience.
is filled with shadow people, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Middle room, I mean, back room, elves and aluches and duendes.
that's my mom's room.
But also the last room, El Mono Verde.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then your mom's room, it's like invisible entities that make you sleepy.
That's true.
Because I did tell Eddie the previous episode that every time I would get to your mom's house, I would just feel sleepy,
tired. Yeah.
And that same thing happened to our brother-in-law, cousin-in-law, Edgar.
Mm-hmm.
He always got there and he's like, hey, can I take a nap in your room? But it was always like, take a nap in Tia Concha's room, in your mom's room.
Yeah.
Not any other room.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with.
Every room
house.
was its own experience. But anyway,
And,
please continue. Shadow people in your
room. My specific room, the middle room, was filled with shadow people. And again, I was already used to them. So when I saw it right in front of me, I was just like, I got scared, but I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna ignore it. There's nothing going on. Like, it's just there, right? I was like, I'm just gonna try to go to sleep, whatever. So I laid down, and then since we have bunk beds, I laid down. There was someone on my little brother's. There was another shadow person on my little brother's bed, and he was peeking over the bed.
Oh
and
my God.
Normally, the one on top is like smaller than the one in the bottom.
Yeah.
So I could see like the edge of my brother's bed, and he was like peeking through, like looking down right at me.
That is like the scariest thing. I have nightmares. Like I that's so weird because I was just telling Steven that I always think like whenever I wake up in the middle of the night because I have to go to the restroom or anything. So to sleep I wear a face mask, but so whenever I wake up and I have the face mask, I can't see anything. My biggest fear right now is taking off my face mask and there's someone staring. Yeah. And so it's really hard to go pee in the middle of the day. But please keep on going.
What's it called? So there was one in my bed and there was one in my little brother's bed. It was two both staring right at me.
Oh my God.
One of them was kind of like trying to crawl towards me, and the other one was peeking down from my brother's bed, staring straight at me. And at that point I was just like, nope, I'm not doing this today. I was like, I'm really tired. So I got up and I went to my mom's room.
You got up?
Yeah, I got up and I went to my mom's room.
I would have just covered myself. Padre Nuestro.
Could not. I was too scared after seeing the second one. I was just like, nope, I'm not doing this. I'm just gonna. And then I told my mom and I was like, I saw people in my room. It wasn't just one, there was two. One in my bed, one in my little brother's bed. Like, I cannot sleep in there. Can I sleep in your bed? And she was like, yeah, sure, go for it.
Maybe we should do an episode of us cleansing your mom's house.
Cleansing all of our houses, because
well, at my mom's house, I think I've said it in a previous episode, but we just have that man that walks in the hallway.
Yeah, the one that slides is.
Yeah, we just have that slidey man that walks in the hallway. That's it. The orange eye guy is gone. Like, most of the things are gone except for that slidey man in the hallway.
Well, y'all did have multiple cats in that house.
Yes, we do.
Like 5-6 different cats. Like, so.
Also, to this day, we have outside cats that we feed.
Walk around and stuff. Yeah. Maybe that's why most of them are gone. Just because y'all have so many cats. But anyways, I think that's it for my house. I have some for Tia Chelo's house.
Yeah.
My Tia Chelo's house is a 2-story house. I don't know if like the previous episode they said this and stuff, but there was this one time where we were hanging out. It was like me, my family, like my mom, my brothers, and then it was me, Tia Chelo, her husband, and then Eddie, the one from the previous episode, and his family. So like his brothers, his mom, stuff like that. We were all hanging out at Tia Chelo's house. We were on the living room, just talking, having a good time.
Front living room or
Front living room.
stairs living room?
Front living room, the one that like right in front of the door.
Right in front. Yeah.
Yeah, we were all hanging out there, just having a good time, whatever, just talking, and out of nowhere we just heard a bang, like coming from the top, from the second floor, and it wasn't like a one-person experience. This was like a 15
Group.
people. Yeah, this was a group experience, like maybe like a 10 people experience. Like we all heard it. It wasn't just like me or my cousin. Like we all heard it, and we all looked up, like collectively, like we all just like looked up, and then my uncle, Tia Chelo's husband, he started making jokes, and he was like, "Look, it's your grandma," like this and that.
Yes.
And then I was like, "Do not do that, like." Please.
Family lore.
I was like, please don't do that. And then we heard another one that like almost right after he said that, he was like, it's your grandma, que no sé qué. And boom, we heard another one. And then we were like, no, like we're not gonna do this. And then what's it called? I think because we were all together, it wasn't as scary, but I feel like that second bang just kind of answered that it was my grandma. Because it did happen almost immediately after my uncle had said that it was her.
Oi. That was my feet. It was not ghosts.
What's it called? But that was a good group experience.
Yes. So yes, to corroborate family lore, Lalo. Sorry, we keep calling him Lalo and Eddie because in Spanish, Eduardo's or Lalos. But Eddie did say that story last time.
Oh, really?
Yes. So yes, it's corroborated. You know,
Yeah.
it did happen. I personally wasn't there, but it did happen.
It did. Yeah. It was like a group of like 10 experiencing the exact same thing. So it's not like we can make this up. Like honestly. Okay. So another one. I don't think it was as scary because we didn't really see anything. I would always feel things, like either like staring at me or, funnily enough, I would feel things from outside of the room. Like I would feel things like I don't know if you've ever sensed like sometimes where you're in a room and you could feel someone like trying to come in. And then they'll eventually come in or something like that.
Yes. I have a kind of a creepy story going back to Aunt Chelo's house.
This was at Tia Chelo's house.
Oh my God.
Well, I would always feel like that, like something wanted to come inside the room or something walking around in the hallway outside.
Or something following you.
Or something following us. Yeah, that too. And it was really creepy. Again, nothing ever happened. We did have a cat. So nothing would ever like really stand out, but I would always feel like certain
Eerie.
things. Eerie feelings, especially from that small room in the corner. I know there's a lot of stories from that room that other people have. I fortunately don't have any. Fortunately
yes.
don't have any. But I do know that there's a lot of stories coming from that room, and I would always feel really eerie. That in that room specifically,
it's like the room is staring at you.
Yeah.
The room.
We didn't take that room when we moved. We took the other 2 rooms, the big ones.
Yeah.
I would sleep in the same room as my brother, but we had 2 separate beds. And then my mom and my younger brother would sleep in another room, but we never took the small room. And again, also for that reason, just because we didn't want to like be in that room. It just felt really eerie. It felt really off.
So just for context, I did tell this story back in the previous episode, but again, family lore, it's all connected, you know. So in my Aunt Chelo's house, you go, it's the second living room, the one that's right next to the stairs. You go up the stairs, landing, and then you go up the stairs this way. There's a little window right there, the one where I saw that lady without feet. Like her dress just ended midway. If y'all want to know the full story, please go watch the previous episode.
I know Eddie saw like a similar lady from outside.
Yes.
Staring in.
It's in the previous episode. If y'all want to know what's going on with that, please go watch your family lore. So anyway, when you go up the stairs, there's that little window, and then there's a wide hallway. The hallway
really,
is
really big.
wide. It's almost like the size of a regular room.
It's almost like the size of a living room. It's really, really big.
It's wide. And so there's four doors in that hallway.
There's
the restroom to the left.
To the left.
Straight up, there's a door that goes into that creepy room.
That small creepy room.
Which used to be our cousin Cesar's room.
Yes.
And then 2 doors over here
on
to the right.
On the right, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the big rooms that they had.
And to be honest, all of those rooms, whenever the door was open, it felt like they were staring at you.
Yeah, they all felt really creepy. We did eventually kind of get used to it. But the whole time that we were there, I would always feel really eerie coming, especially from like the closets and stuff like that. No matter what room I was at, I most of the time would never go up alone. Even in like the daytime and stuff like that, I would never go up alone because it just felt creepy. Like it felt eerie. So, and if I ever did go up alone, I would go really fast. Like go up, get what I needed, come back down. Like I would not stay up there. But I feel like that's the only main thing that happened to me, especially because we had cats. So I just kept feeling really eerie, like for the most part.
Honestly, one family could live in one of those rooms. Those rooms were big.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. They were pretty big.
I mean, we took 2 rooms only because
for separation, you know, your mom and then y'all.
Because we wanted to, we didn't need to.
You could fit. I think you could fit like 3 queen-size beds just in the first room.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Which was the pink room.
Because we had 2 twin size. I had a full size. My older brother had a twin size, and they were like corner to corner.
And you still had all this room for activities.
And then we had my brother's desk in the middle. And it still had enough space to add stuff like in between the desk and the beds. Like it was really, really big.
It was a big house.
Yeah, it was a big house. I have one more story that happened.
Oh my God, yes.
In the trailer behind the house.
Okay, so aside from being a big house, it was a
really big
lot. It was a big lot.
Yeah.
Like the house was big. And then the backyard was even bigger. So before they built that house, they had a single wide trailer to the back and still had all the space in the front to build this
2-story really big house. Yeah.
Really big house. Yes. So by the time, like she would rent it out to like family members or like random people. But I remember a specific period of time you guys were renting it from her.
We didn't rent out the trailer, we rented out the top rooms.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
But it got to the point where my aunt would not allow me to have my cat inside. So I would put him in the trailer, and sometimes he would walk out, he would be outside and stuff like that, right? But mainly he was inside the trailer. I would like
that would be like his sleeping spot area. Yeah.
Every time, like every night, I would go feed him, give him water, stuff like that. Eventually, there was a lot of stray cats that ended up coming into. So we would feed them as well sometimes, every now and then. Or I would just leave them like a big pile and they would all eat.
Yeah.
But with one of the stray cats, my cat did have kids with one of the stray cats. And what's it called? that cat ended up having the kids inside the trailer.
Aw.
And it was like at 9-10 p.m. And I noticed because my cat ran out and started meowing, like meowing, and I was like, what's going on? So I went out, and then he started running inside the trailer, so I started following him.
Like it wanted you to follow him.
He wanted us to like go with him,
like help.
Yeah. And then he went towards where she was. She was inside, like, it was like a drawer or something like that, and she was like inside it. And then
there was still furniture in the house.
Yeah. Some of it was ours because we had a lot of stuff that we couldn't bring inside and stuff like that. But it was inside like a drawer and stuff like that, and he guided us to her, and I was like, "What's going on?" And then I go, and she had 4 kids.
Aww.
And she was laying down with her,
baby
with them.
kitties.
Yeah, what's it called? But there was this one time where I went in because I was gonna feed them, and also this was like evening. It was like 6 p.m. Or so it wasn't even dark outside. I went in and I was gonna feed them and stuff like that, give them water, and I heard like a bang coming from one of the rooms in the back. So for context, the trailer is like the front door, it's the kitchen, there's a room on the right side of the kitchen.
It's a single wide, you know.
You go
it's a
in,
single wide. Kitchen,
long hallway, left hallway on the left, and then 2 rooms, one at the very end of the hallway and one like in the middle of the hallway, like going to the right. Small room, right? The big one was the one at the very end,
and next to it a restroom.
Yeah.
Little laundry area, and then restroom.
Like restroom, yeah.
And then big room.
The big room, yeah. So I heard stuff coming from the very end room, and again, it was evening, so it wasn't even dark. So I was like, "What is that?" And I heard something fall, and I went over there, and there was nothing that could have fallen. Like there was nothing leaning on the walls. There was nothing like on like standing up that could have fallen. Like there was nothing, and I just heard like a bang, like if something fell, and I was like,
"Oh my god,
that is like weird." And I think I heard it like 2 to 3 times, and almost every time was when I was trying to feed my cats, and even
3 times is not good.
There was also, I think in one of those times when I was trying to feed my cats, I heard the noise, and I felt something staring at me as well, like if it was trying to get my attention intentionally. Like I felt something staring, and when I looked up, there was nothing there. I went over there was nothing that could have fallen, like nothing on the floor.
Oh my god,
there was a blanket on the floor, and that's it. Like that's all that was in there. But I just kept hearing stuff fall like 3 times, and it was just really weird.
Yeah.
And I know that trailer was rented by Eddie's family as well.
Yeah, everybody I think at one point lived in there. I know we lived in that trailer for a little bit while our house was being built. I know you guys when you were toddlers, I'm not sure if you were born yet.
I'm not sure.
But I know your mom and dad lived there with Ricky
when they had moved over here, no?
When they had moved over here, and they were saving for the house.
Yes, I wasn't born yet. Ricky was like 1, I think.
Yeah, he was a toddler. He was a baby.
They bought the house when Ricky was 2.
Yes.
And I know because Ricky was 2 years older than the house. They had just built it. We were like the first, whatever. Anyways, a lot of people lived there at one point. But I know specifically Eddie's family, like his dad did have a lot of like Grim Reaper stuff.
His dad?
Or Beavis' dad.
Oh, yeah.
He would always, I think he had a statue of the Grim Reaper. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not sure if...
No.
Or...
It's not Grim Reaper. It's Lady Death.
Or, well... Yeah. Lady
La
Death.
Santa Muerte.
Yeah. He had a statue of her at one point. And I feel like something came in.
That impacted the house.
Yeah, something came in at the time. And they just stayed there. I don't know. But stuff would happen a lot. Especially when he was living there. But
he was Bad vibes.
Yeah. Bad vibes coming from him, but
Family lore.
family lore.
Yeah. Yeah, I also, like, when we were younger, I did have an experience with that back trailer. Mind you, many dreams, and I've said this in previous episodes. I have all my nightmares, and I think I said it before earlier, but all my nightmares are in that house. All of them. There's not one. Nightmares only. Dreams can be anywhere. But like, a dream can start somewhere, but if it turns into a nightmare, boom, back to my aunt's house. I don't know if it's a connection with something. I've spoken with a shaman, and they said you obviously have some sort of connection with that house. I'll keep this for a special episode, because the dreams that I've had, not dreams, the nightmares, I say nightmares because they're scary. The things that I've dreamt in this house are strong. Like, they're hard to process, I guess, even. But I did have an experience in the back trailer, which I also dream sometimes. But it was Tico, my brother Hector. But it was my brother Hector, it was Julio, it was our cousin Fernie, all the ones that are 30 now. All the ones that are 30. We were playing in my Aunt Chelo's backyard, and the trailer at this point was empty. It was completely empty. Nobody was living there. It was used as storage. I remember they had some chairs in there, and we were getting ready to make a carne, like a barbecue. And eventually, like, Aunt Chelo said, like, whenever you guys have time, because it was really early. It was like 1 p.m. and barbecues usually start like at 4-6, So Aunt Chelo told us, like, hey, go take out the chairs from inside the trailer whenever, you guys want to do it. So, of course, the trailer was not taken care of because the house was already built 100%. Like, it was livable. Everybody was living over here. The trailer was very, very dirty, storage, whatever. And so we were like, who's going to go in? Like, you go in, like daring each other. And so we didn't want to go in because it looked creepy. And so finally we all were like, we're all going to go in together. Like, we're all going to go in together. So we finally all gather up, like, we're in a huddle. Hector grabs the handle. He opens the door. And so as soon as he's opening the door, like, because it's an old trailer.
Yeah.
So he's opening this door, and we just see, like, white dust suspended in the air in the shape of a person or a sheet ghost. It was something, it was like dust suspended in the air in the shape of something humanoid. Mm-hmm. And we just, like, we don't even think, like, mind you, you guys know what trailers look like, hopefully, if you're in the US. If you're not, Google
They're
it.
Really small.
Yeah. I mean, no, I'm talking about the stairs.
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah.
They are elevated a little bit. So they had concrete stairs that go up to the door. We just jumped off of that. Like, we really just jumped off of that. And we all saw it.
Yeah.
It was scary. But I think I was in middle school. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but it was really scary. But sorry.
No,
Did
it's
I
okay.
lose track of it?
No, it's okay. I think that was my last story, actually. I don't think I have anything more from Tia Chelo's house from my personal experience.
Oh my God, I have so many stories from Tia Chelo's house, but I want to save them for a special episode. Maybe a Halloween special. If you guys want to hear it, I feel like I have a lot of stories pertaining to grandma because, again, family lore. She used to do a lot of cleansing of people. She was what we call a white witch. She would only do cleansings and she would only do things to help people.
Yeah.
But like we have established, some of those things stay back and some of
Yeah.
those things still linger. And the people that live there, us, or the people that accustom those places have to live with those things. So I think that's why a lot of these things happen. For sure.
I think that's all I have from our experience, like from my experiences and our houses and stuff like that. I did experience something in one of my friends' house.
Ooh.
For privacy reasons, we'll call her A. And there was another friend with me that also had the same experience, the same time like that I was having it. We'll call him I. Also for privacy reasons. So there was this one time where I was hanging out with them. There was two other friends there as well, but they left a little early. So it was just me, A, and I. A is the one that was hosting that at the house. And then we were just talking. It was already like 11, 12 at night. And then we all got hungry. So we were like, let's get some food, right? There was a Whataburger like 2 minutes away. Like it was right there. So we're like, no, but let's just grab Whataburger. So we went.
It's right there.
It's right there. So we went, we got Whataburger, whatever. We came back, we started eating, and we were in the kitchen. Mind you, it's the front door, and then the living room, and then the kitchen is right next to the living room. But in the living room, there's a door on the right, the far right side, that leads to her parents' room.
Okay.
Just for a bit of context, right? So we were in the kitchen, the room was right behind us, right? And then it was like the kitchen, the table. I was here, the room was right behind me. I was here, my friend I was here, and my friend A was on this side. So she could look at the room pretty much. What's it called? But I was sitting, like my back was turned from the room. And I just started feeling weird, like eerie presence coming from the room. Okay.
Sorry, refills.
Refill break.
Keep going. You can keep going. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, but keep going. You can keep going.
What's it called? So I kept feeling eerie coming from her parents' room behind me. So every once in a while, I would just like turn around and look at the room, make sure there was nothing there. Fortunately enough, there wasn't anything there. But I just kept feeling this presence. So like I said, every once in a while, I would like turn around, try to look. Maybe there was something there. And then my friend that was sitting next to me on my right, once we left, because my friend he was like, okay, well, it's already getting kind of late, like I have to go, whatever. And then we were like, okay, well, let's leave. So me and my friend were walking back to our cars, and he ended up telling me, he was like, okay, but like the only reason I left is because I was getting this eerie feeling. And I was like,
Oh my God, him too?
I was like, what are you what are you talking about, right? And he was like, yeah, like I felt this cold air just go through my neck. And then I was like if someone just went like on his neck. And he kind of like turned around too, but there was nothing there. And then he started feeling something from the room, the exact same room that was on his left, like behind me. And he just kept feeling stuff coming from there. And he felt like the cold breeze, he felt it twice. And then he felt a hand on his shoulder.
Oh my god.
And that's when he felt the hand. He was like, okay, like I'm out. Like we have to go. Like whatever. It's getting kind of late, right? That's when he made the excuse of it's getting kind of late. But he said that at first he was feeling air, and then he started feeling like the presence from the back room, and then he felt the hand. And I fortunately did not feel any of like the breeze and stuff like that, but I was feeling eerie from the same room that he was pointing at. And I told him this, and he was like, that's fucking creepy, dude. Like we both had the same exact feeling. So we both had the same exact feeling coming from the same exact room at the same exact time. So it wasn't even just like me feeling weirded out. Like we both felt it.
It was a shared experience.
Yeah, it was a shared experience for sure. And it was just really weird. It was really, really weird.
Like pressure.
I'm not exactly.
Eerie.
It was like a stare. Like if someone just like staring right at you, and you could feel it from the back. It's just like someone's staring. And
also, just if you're a person that can feel stares, comment yes in the comments, I guess, because not a lot of people could feel that.
That's true.
Even
That's
just
true.
stares. But when you can feel like presences stares, I don't know how you say that, but you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Sometimes you can. Like I can feel my cat staring at me.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I feel like that's my best accomplishment.
What's it called? But no, yeah, I was just feeling like a really, really dark stare coming from the room, and he said that he felt the exact same way. He said that he was feeling a stare coming from the room. He felt like there was like a presence, like staring right at us. And he said that he felt really, he started feeling really anxious, really scared, and he was like, I just have to get out. Like I just have to leave. So
he kind of saved y'all because he was the one that was feeling the heaviest.
Yeah, he was the one that had the most experience too with the hand and the cold breeze. To called, but yeah, it was just really weird because I didn't want to say anything, so I didn't want to scare them. But he's the one that brought it up, and I was like, "There's no way." Like we felt the exact same thing.
Yeah.
What's it called? That was just a really crazy night. Honestly, it was just,
yeah.
I don't know.
I've had some of those.
Yeah. Right after that, I did end up moving to a different city, which now I live with you guys and stuff. Though we did have a shared experience.
Yeah. We were trying to, mind you, have like a fun chill night, like a game night type, like
just watching videos.
Because it was the first day.
We got drunk.
We got drunk, and we also had just decorated for autumn Halloween. So we were like, ooh, Halloween trivia night or like something.
Yeah,
we were looking for something, right?
We started playing like guess the horror movie and stuff like that.
Yeah, guess the horror movie. So we were kind of like psyching ourselves out just by looking at these scenes because they were scary scenes.
A lot of them were scary scenes, yeah. But well, to start off the story, I was gonna go back to my hometown, and one of my friends was gonna come with me. But I was working. I got home. I got out a bit late. So I told my friend, I was like, hey, can I go pick you up? We'll go back to my place. I'll shower, I'll change stuff, whatever. And then once I finish, like, we'll just go to our hometown. She's from the same town. What's it called?
Oh, yes, I remember. Yes.
Yeah. What's it called? So, because I was like, I got out like around 6:30. And I was like, I don't want it to be too late. I don't want to drive in the dark. And if I come back home, shower, and then go pick you up, and then come back, it's gonna take too long. And I was like, you're on the way to my house, so I just pick you up, go to my house, change, whatever. So we went, we did that. I picked her up, and then we came back to my place. As I was getting close.
This is all context for the Horror Nights trivia night.
Yes, this is context
to
for that.
note.
So we came back to my place. I was getting my clothes, getting ready to shower. And as I was getting my clothes, our Alexa turned on out of
As
nowhere.
she's sitting in the living room, right?
She's sitting in the living room. She's like playing with our dog. She's not really talking, because I'm over here in my room doing my things, and then the Alexa just turns on out of nowhere. No one said anything. No one was really talking.
There was no one else in the house.
There was no one else in the house. I think you were also going to our hometown, but you guys had already left. I think.
Yeah, we were not there.
You guys were not there. I was pretty much. It was just us two, me and my friend, and then the Alexa turned on just out of nowhere, and then I was in my room and I heard it, so I came out and I was like, "What the fuck?" Right? I was like, "That's weird," and the Alexa said like to use internet connection, like make sure to connect this and that, whatever. It also connects to your phone. I don't know what it said, right? But it just started talking on its own.
Yeah.
And we're like, that's so weird, right? So a few days later, after we came back from our hometown, it was like maybe middle of the week or like the weekend after.
Yeah, like a Wednesday.
The weekend after, I don't know, something like that. I ended up telling her about it, and I told her that the Alexa turned on. We never said Alexa. We weren't really talking, and we were talking. It wasn't too loud. And then she decided to use the AI anime.
Well, no, this was okay. So we were already watching the spooky trivia night.
Yeah, we were
and then
watching
you were like, something like triggered your memory, and then you told me this story.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, hey, maybe we could use the AI filter to show what's going on, you know?
Yeah, because I ended up telling her about it, and she was like, "What if there is something? What if something is here?"
Yeah.
Right.
So, again, you know how TikToks, it was very popular when it happened for like
anime filter.
2 weeks. But yeah, so we tried the anime filter and we were like, asking.
Like, if you're here, please show yourself and stuff like that. And
Several.
yeah, the first one, she pointed it towards my room. And
Well, it's because, okay, so the layout of this house is, this is one of the rooms, but there is so there's the living room and there's a door right, like an arch right here, but his
like a door entrance.
His door is right here. His door was open and I have some frames right here and then you can't see, but the restroom door is right there. So I pointed the AI filter
At the
TikTok
door frame.
camera at the door frame, and it looked like
someone was like peeking out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like someone was peeking out from the door frame. At first, it didn't show anything, and then she asked again, and she was like, "We're not trying to be like
rude.
We're not trying to
or
be
like,
rude. We're friendly. We just want to know if someone's here."
Yeah.
And then she tried it again, and there was someone peeking out from the door frame. And what's it called?
And then so we kept asking, like, we're gonna keep on watching like scary stuff. If you want to join us, move to this couch, because we were sitting on the 3-person couch. Mind you, we had just finished having COVID.
Oh, that's true.
Yes.
That's true.
We were not contagious anymore. We tried everything. We were wearing masks in the house. You never got COVID, right?
No, I didn't get COVID. I
See,
came out negative.
that's how safe we were.
For a bit of more context, it was the 3-person couch.
He was sitting on the edge and I was sitting on the other
I was
edge.
on the right edge and she was on the left edge.
Yes.
But then it was like on the left side. And then we asked the ghost if she can sit on the single couch, which was on the
Love
right
seat.
side.
It was first, remember I asked like if anybody wants to come here, come sit in the love seat, which is the 2-people couch. And I took a picture again, which took the couch in the hallway and then 2 heads poked out.
I don't really.
Yes.
I don't remember that one.
Remember, it was still the pink girl and it was another brown hair head.
Huh. I don't remember that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay. So it was that one. We were drinking too.
It was also her phone, so she was mainly the one looking at it. So
Yeah. So I did ask. It was 2 heads. It was a little peaky. And then we were like, okay, can you all move? this is one corner of the living room. In the other corner of the living room, I guess, in the middle, there's a chimney. But we have a corner chair. And we asked,
if you guys want to watch, like, or we told them like, we're watching scary things, scary story trivia. If you guys maybe want to watch or maybe want to like play with us, you could sit down on the.
Can you all gather in that chair?
Well, first it was, the one that was there, can you move to that chair? And it was just one.
And whatever it was, I'm calling it she because it looked like she had long hair.
Like, yeah.
And
so it was just one person. She sat down in the chair, in that single chair, and then we asked her like, is there more people? Can the rest of your like friends, stuff like that, show up if they wanna like watch as well? And we took another AI of the same corner, and this time there was 7 in total?
It was like 7.
7 in total, and it was the same person, and they had like 6 other figures right next to it as well.
We were drinking, so we didn't even think about saving them, because you know how TikTok you go like boom boom boom, and then it's like you either save the video and post it or you don't.
Yeah.
So because it was even before we thought about doing this.
Yeah.
So I didn't even think about saving any of this proof. But yes, it was us two. I remember Steven.
He had already gone to bed.
Yeah.
It was like 3 in the morning.
Yes.
What's it called? And again, we told her like, if there's more of you, can you all gather in one, like in the same couch? And we took another AI photo, and it was 7 of them in total.
Yep. And we took several, not just that one. We kept asking, like, please stay. We just want to verify.
And the same 7 kept coming out. Yeah.
7.
It was always 7. And then we told them, like, we're watching scary stories. If you guys want to stay cool, like, if you don't like it, if you get scared, like, that's fine.
You can
like,
leave.
You can leave. And then we took another one, and there was like, what, like 3?
3?
So I think a few left.
After we were watching like several things. Yeah. So, and then everybody left. We tried taking pictures of the hallway. We tried taking pictures of everything. Everybody left. They didn't like what we were watching.
We took a picture of the same couch, the same door frame. They were just gone. We couldn't find them anymore.
Yeah.
So I guess they didn't like the trivia. I'm not exactly
maybe
sure.
They didn't even like the movies.
A lot of them were really old.
Maybe
movies.
they got offended because it was like ghost scenes.
Maybe
they were like, "That's not what I do."
That's not how we act.
Yeah, discrimination. Again, we're laughing because we're nervous.
Because we're scared.
Yeah, we're really scared. Yeah. Yeah, but that was very recent. That was like 2-3 weeks ago?
I think so. Less than a month ago. It was like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, it was the beginning of September.
Yes, because we just recently decorated our house.
And what's it called? That did happen very, very recently.
In this house, honestly, other than that, I haven't had any experiences, to be honest.
I don't think I
It is an old house. Yeah.
It is an old house, that's true. It's like, what, like 40 years old? 50 years old?
It's from the 70s.
Yeah, it's like 50 years old or something like that. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that there's ghosts and stuff like that in here.
Yeah, but I honestly have not had any. Other than that one.
There was one that happened to me, but I think I was just being like, I think I was just
subjective,
I think I was just scaring myself, because this happened like 3 days ago or like 2 days ago. Delusional, maybe I was just scaring myself, but I was in my room.
This room here in this house.
The one right across from this one.
This house.
This house, yes, here. I started listening to ASMR because most of the time.
Oh, my mic.
Most of the time I have trouble sleeping and stuff like that, so I usually sleep with sound on, because if I don't have sound on, I get freaked out. I feel like it's too silent.
Same.
Yeah, I cannot sleep, even if it's just like a fan. Like, I have to have some sort of sound on.
We have 2 fans.
But again, I've been sleeping with ASMR. Usually I just have it like on my phone or on my laptop. I just have it playing. But that day it was on my laptop, and I have my closet open, and I have like clothes hanging and stuff like that.
Never leave your closets open. I don't know. It's just
and
heebies.
I was trying to sleep and I couldn't. Like I just could not fall asleep, and I kept opening my eyes like every once in a while, and I would look into my closet and I would see like this figure, like that was combined with my clothes. Like it was like like with my clothes as well, because it was like because I have like a few black shirts and stuff like that, and behind the black shirts, it was this figure that was like.
Do you think it was subjective because we had just watched the Babadook?
It could have been. Maybe it like subconsciously like scared me.
We did just watch the Babadook.
Like 3 days ago as well. Like
but
4 days ago.
But you did not finish watching it.
I did not I watched like
half.
Yeah, like half of it.
You didn't watch the scariest parts. It's a really good movie. Recommend.
Not sponsored.
Not a sponsor.
Not sponsored by the Babadook.
Or Jack Daniels.
I did watch some of it. I watched like the first part of the scary things.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, but I did not finish it. But like I said, I did see this thing in my closet that was like, I guess, hanging with my clothes. Because right behind my black shirt, there was like another figure. But like the hanger was empty. Like there was no other shirts, and it was just kind of like
dangling.
Like the figure. And I was like, I don't know if I'm seeing it because my shirt, or because there's actually something there, or because I'm being delusional. Like I don't know.
Yeah, because you said that you sometimes leave your laptop open that creates a light, and the angle might,
The laptop was facing the closet, but it was pretty far. Like it was like.
It was a white light.
Yeah,
angle.
It was a white light, so it wasn't super bright. And I had lowered the brightness because I don't like sleeping with the light being too bright. So I do lower the brightness every night when I sleep with the laptop. What's it called? But I don't know. Like I did open my eyes a few times that night because I couldn't sleep, and every single time I would open my eyes, I would see like that figure in my closet, and I would just tell myself like I'm being delusional. Like, but I feel like if I let the door open, I'm gonna see something outside the door. But
honestly, we sleep with our door open. We sleep with a bunch of doors open because of the animals. The cats and stuff. Our dogs. Iro does sleep in his kennel, but Azula does roam around.
Likes to walk around. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes she likes to sleep on the couches and or with us. The cats just like love
sleep
to parkour in the middle of the night and just choose whoever they want to sleep with. But it's always active because of our cats and dogs and all of that. So I've never seen anything in particular. I've never had any experiences besides the one from the previous episode. Go watch that again. It was weird. It was weird.
Well, I sleep with my door closed. Usually they don't come in, so maybe that's why I had that experience. I mean, the cats weren't inside. Or
maybe
like
you were being subjective because the Babadook is kind of a scary movie. It starts slow.
It does start really slow.
It is scary.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I was just being delusional. Maybe I was just seeing things out of my own mind. I was like scaring myself. But
hey, insomnia does give you like weird visual thing. Yeah. Also, when you're like half asleep, half awake, you start seeing your dreams in front of you. Yeah. That has happened to me several times.
Maybe. I'm not sure. But I think that was the last thing that happened to me. Nothing has happened recently. Just, well, I guess that a few days ago, but right now, nothing has really happened. Nothing.
But Family Laura, dude, like, we have a lot of things. If y'all want another episode with Diego, another episode with Lalo or my brother, please let us know, or we can do a panel episode. Yeah, we can do a panel episode because I definitely have more cousins to invite, like Lily, Rocio, Bibi, Fernie, everybody. Like, we've had so many experiences that are shared, but also adjacent, because we might have seen different things, or we might corroborate each other's stories. Like, I didn't know you were gonna tell that story about Uncle Fidel yelling, "Oh, that's your grandma, that's your grandma." Eddie said it too.
The same one?
Same one. Like, I didn't know you were gonna say that. So it just family lore. And but yeah, please let us know in the comments if you want a panel of my family members. Mind you, I don't have a lot of girl cousins. I'll post a picture on my Instagram of how many boy cousins I have, because I just have like,
it's like
3.
It's like 80% boys. Like,
yeah.
The girl cousins you have.
Yeah, the girl cousins I have all speak Spanish, so I mean, maybe we could do a special Spanish episode. If you guys want it, please let us know. Again, in the comments, it is very, very much appreciated. But this was amazing. This was awesome. I really, really enjoy hearing everybody's stories and encounters, because some of them I lived.
Yeah.
And it's just mind-blowing. So thank you so much for taking your time and coming over here to this other room.
To the room right
we all live here
from mine.
Yeah, but thank you so much for taking your time to be here and telling us your personal paranormal experiences, because I feel like it's an important part that we should be documenting, but a lot of people don't do. So yeah, thank you so much. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please let us know by liking, subscribing, in whatever platform that you're listening to us through. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. See you later.
Ring that bell.
Ring a bell. A bell.
There you go.